Hanford, California. Hanford is an important commercial and cultural center in the south-central San Joaquin Valley and is the county seat of Kings County, California. It is the principal city of the Hanford-Corcoran metropolitan area, MSA Code 25260, which encompasses all of Kings County, including the cities of Hanford and Corcoran. The zip code is 93,230. 93,232 for post office boxes. The city of Hanford is surrounded by communities that do not fall within the city limits but use the same zip code. These communities include Grangeville, Hardwick, and Home Garden. The population was 53,967 at the 2010 census. The California Department of Finance estimated that the city's population was 58,176 as of January 1, 2018. Geography. Hanford is located at 36°1939 and 119°3844 W/36.32750° and 119.64556° W/36.32750. -119.64556, 36.3275, 119.6457. It is situated in the south-central portion of California's San Joaquin Valley, 28 miles, 45 kilometers, south-southeast of the city of Fresno and 18 miles, 29 kilometers, west of the city of Visalia. The city is 249 feet, 76 m, above sea level and has a flat terrain. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 16.6 square miles, 43 square kilometers, none of which is covered by water. The only natural watercourse is Muscle Slough, remnants of which still exist on the city's western edge. The Kings River is about 6.5 miles, 10.5 kilometers, north of Hanford. The People's Ditch, an irrigation canal dug in the 1870s, traverses Hanford from north to south. Climate. Hanford has a climate typical of that of the San Joaquin Valley floor with hot, dry summers and cool winters characterized by dense tule fog. The wetter season occurs from November through March. The average annual rainfall over the 10 years from 1997/98 through 2006/07 was 8.97 inches, 228 millimeters. The 30-year normal precipitation, 1971-2000, is 8.29 inches, 211 millimeters. The National Weather Service Forecast Office for the San Joaquin Valley is in Hanford and includes a Doppler weather radar. Weather forecasts and climatological information for Hanford and the surrounding area are available from its official website. History. The Hanford area was inhabited by the Tachi-Yokut Indians for several thousand years prior to Euro-American contact. They occupied areas along water courses such as creeks, springs, and seep areas, such as sloughs, along perennial and seasonal drainages, as well as flat ridges and terraces. Therefore, the areas along streams are considered likely locations for prehistoric cultural resources. Permanent villages were usually placed on an elevation above the seasonal flood levels. Surrounding areas were used for hunting and seed, acorn, and grass gathering. Hanford is named for James Madison Hanford, a railroad executive, after the Southern Pacific Railroad tracks were laid through a sheep camp in the year 1877. According to History of Kings County, it was but a short step from sheep camp to village, and with the railroad as an attraction the village flourished and became a town within a few historic months. In 1880, a dispute over land titles between settlers and the Southern Pacific Railroad resulted in a bloody gun battle on a farm 5.6 miles, 9.0 kilometers, northwest of Hanford that left 7 men dead. This event became famous as the Muscle Slough tragedy. A post office was set up in 1887. Several times, major fires destroyed much of the young community's business district. The need for fire protection led to the town becoming an incorporated city in 1891. Its first mayor was local resident Yaman Lebaran. An electrical generating plant was built in 1891 by pioneering flour miller H. G. Lacey, bringing the first electric lights to the city. The Lacey Milling Company was still operating in Hanford in 2016. The first public high school, Hanford Union High School, was started in 1892 with one teacher, W. S. Cranmer, and an average enrollment of 14. When Kings County was created in 1893 from the western part of Tulare County, Hanford became its county seat. A second railroad was laid through Hanford in 1897, which today is the main north-south line of the BNSF Railway through the San Joaquin Valley. The original East-West Southern Pacific Railroad branch line is now operated by the San Joaquin Valley Railroad. In 1901, a restaurant called The Star opened on 6th Street across from the Southern Pacific tracks. The Star restaurant was still doing business at the same location in 2018. Saloons flourished in Hanford's early days despite an anti-saloon movement until the town voted to become dry in 1912, 8 years before nationwide prohibition in the United States took effect. Demographics. 2010. The 2010 United States Census reported that Hanford had a population of 53,967. The population density was 3,253.1 people per square mile, 1,256.0/km superscript 2. The racial makeup of Hanford was 33,713, 62.5%. White, 2,632, 4.9%. African American, 712, 1.3%. Native American, 2,322, 4.3%. Asian, 53, 0.1%. Pacific Islander, 11,599, 21.5%, from other races, and 2,936, 5.4%, from 2 or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 25,419 persons, 47.1%. The census reported that 69,690 people, 98.3% of the population, lived in households, 283, 0.5%, lived in non-institutionalized group quarters, and 616, 1.1%, were institutionalized. There were 17,492 households, out of which 8,053, 46.0%, had children under the age of 18 living in them, 9,088, 52.0%, were married couples living together, 2,833, 16.2%, had a female householder with no husband present, 1,207, 6.9%, had a male householder with no wife present. There were 1,315, 7.5%, unmarried partnerships, and 117, 0.7%, same-sex partnerships. 3,483 households, 19.9%, were made up of individuals, and 1,405, 8.0%, had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 3.03. There were 13,128 families, 75.1% of all households. The average family size was 3.49. The population was spread out with 16,731 people, 31.0%, under the age of 18, 5,478 people, 10.2%, aged 18 to 24, 14,764 people, 27.4%, aged 25 to 44, 11,647 people, 21.6%, aged 45 to 64, and 5,347 people, 9.9%, who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 30.9 years. For every 100 females, there were 96.3 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 93.9 males. There were 18,493 housing units at an average density of 1,114.8 per square mile, 430.4/km superscript 2, of which 10,208, 58.4%, were owner-occupied, and 7,284, 41.6%, were occupied by renters. The homeowner vacancy rate was 2.4%, the rental vacancy rate was 4.6%. 31,109 people, 57.6% of the population, lived in owner-occupied housing units, and 21,959 people, 40.7%, lived in rental housing units. 15.5% of the populace lived below the poverty line. 2000. As of the 2000 census, there were 41,686 people, 13,931 households, and 10,378 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,184.4 people per square mile, 1,229.6/km superscript 2. There were 14,721 housing units at an average density of 1,124.5 per square mile, 434.2/km superscript 2. The racial makeup of the city was 64.1% white, 5.0% black or African American, 1.4% Native American, 2.9% Asian, 0.2% Pacific Islander, 20.8% from other races, and 5.7% from two or more races. 38.7% of the population were Hispanic or Latino of any race. Foreign-born residents accounted for 13.2% of Hanford's population, and 28.3% spoke a language other than English at home. There were 13,931 households, out of which 42.3% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 53.9% were married couples living together, 15.4% had a female householder with no husband present, and 25.5% were non-families. 20.6% of all households were made up of individuals, and 8.7% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.93 and the average family size was 3.39. In the city, the population was spread out, with 31.6% under the age of 18, 9.8% from 18 to 24, 29.6% from 25 to 44, 18.6% from 45 to 64, and 10.3% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 31 years. For every 100 females, there were 95.9 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 92.3 males. Economy. Hanford is a major trading center serving the surrounding agricultural area. According to the California Employment Development Department, as of September 2012, most residents of the Hanford-Corcoran metropolitan statistical area were employed in services, 31,000 employees, government, 14,400 employees, and farming, 6,400 employees, as well as in some manufacturing enterprises, 5,700 employees. The heavy industry sector has declined significantly over the past 30 years. An oil refinery formerly operated in the city under several different owners: Caminal Oil Co. from 1930–1967, Beacon Oil Co. from 1967–1982 and Ultramar Oil Co. from 1982–1987, until it permanently closed in 1987. A tire manufacturing plant was built in 1962 by the Armstrong Rubber Co., which operated it until that company was purchased by the Italian manufacturer Pirelli, which eventually closed the factory in 2001. In August 2017, Faraday Future announced that it had signed a lease for the former Pirelli plant where it plans to manufacture electric vehicles. The company said that it could employ up to 1,300 people over time and build up to 10,000 cars a year. Major employers within the city of Hanford in 2006 included the Kings County government with 1,041 employees, the Adventist Health System with 857, the Hanford Elementary School District with 520, the Del Monte Foods Tomato Cannery with 435 year-round and 1,500 seasonal employees, and Marquez Brothers International, Inc., makers of Hispanic cheese and other dairy products. Many Hanford residents work for other nearby employers such as NAS Lemoore, the U.S. Navy's largest master jet base located 15.5 miles, 24.9 kilometers, WSW of Hanford, and for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, which operates 3 state prisons in Kings County. Hanford did not escape the effects of the Great Recession, and employment was also affected by the California drought. The unemployment rate in January 2016 was 10.3% but had dropped to 6.8% in December 2018. According to the United States Census Bureau, median household income in Hanford was $54,767, and 18.3% of the population was living below the poverty line in 2008-2012. The homeownership rate was 57% in 2008-2012 according to the Census Bureau. Hanford shopping. Hanford has variety of shopping including Hanford Mall, a 625,580 square foot indoor mall, and another adjacent shopping center with a number of major national retailers. Hanford Historic Downtown, home to unique restaurants, events, stores, and the historic Superior Dairy and Fox Theater. Transportation. Air. The Hanford Municipal Airport serves general aviation and has a 5,175 feet, 1,577 m, paved runway. Bus. Kings Area Rural Transit, CART, operates regularly scheduled fixed-route bus service, van pool service for commuters, and dial-a-ride, demand response, services throughout Kings County as well as to Fresno. Hanford is also served by Orange Belt stages. Rail. Existing, Amtrak provides passenger rail service from Hanford Station to the San Francisco Bay Area and Sacramento, and service to Southern California by a combination of rail and bus. Freight service is available from both the BNSF Railway and the San Joaquin Valley Railroad. Proposed. The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 funded California High-Speed Rail has proposed a station. However, the proposed station on the eastern outskirts of Hanford is listed as optional and will not be built without matching local funds or in-kind support. Greg Gatska, Kings County's Community Development Director, was quoted in a June 2011 newspaper story that the real question is whether high-speed rail is going to authorize a station there. They have a priority list and this station is at the bottom of the list. Major highways. Highway 43, connects to Selma to the north and Corcoran to the south. Highway 198, connects to Lemoore to the west and Visalia to the east. Utilities. Water. The city's water system is supplied by a network of 14 active deep wells and 1 standby well ranging in depth from 600 feet, 180 m, to 1,700 feet, 520 m, with 203 miles, 327 kilometers, of main lines and serves 15,900 water connections. Formerly, the water had contained naturally occurring arsenic in excess of the maximum contaminant level adopted by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. However, according to the Consumer Confidence Report issued by the City of Hanford in March 2010 for calendar year 2009, since November 2009, the city has supplied water that is below the federal standard of 10 micrograms of arsenic per liter of water. The city's mitigation project consisted of reducing the arsenic content in 2 existing deep water wells, drilling 5 replacement wells, and eliminating 8 wells that produced water that exceeded standards. Although it does not pose a health hazard, Hanford's drinking water also naturally contains hydrogen sulfide, which caused the water to have a noticeable rotten egg odor. In 2014, the city began chlorinating its water for the first time, which eliminates the hydrogen sulfide odor. In February 2015, the city completed a project to chlorinate all of its water. Wastewater. The city's sanitary sewer system consists of 212 miles, 341 kilometers, of collector lines and 22 pump stations. The wastewater treatment plant is in the southern part of the city on Houston Avenue and treats 5 million U.S. gallons, 19 million liters, of sewage per day. The treated effluent is used to irrigate non-food crops. Electricity and gas. Southern California Edison provides electricity to most of Hanford. However, the Pacific Gas and Electric Company serves the industrial park area in the city's southernmost part. The Southern California Gas Company supplies natural gas. Telephone and cable television. AT&T provides landline telephone service. Comcast has the cable TV franchise for Hanford. Government. Hanford is incorporated as a general law city under the California Constitution. The city has a council-manager government with a city manager appointed by the City Council. The City Council is made up of 5 members elected by districts for 4-year terms. There are no term limits in effect. The mayor and vice mayor are elected annually by the City Council from among its members. On December 11, 2018, the City Council elected Sue Sorensen as mayor and elected John Draxler as vice mayor. Other council members include Art Brino, Martin Devine, and Francisco Ramirez. Hanford's city manager is the chief administrative officer of the city and is responsible for the overall administrative direction of the city. The city manager's duties include development and implementation of the annual budget for approval by the City Council. Darrell Pyle was appointed as the city manager in 2012. In the state legislature, Hanford is in the 14th State Senate District, which is represented by Democrat Melissa Hurtado, and in the 32nd State Assembly District, represented by Democrat Rudy Salas. Federally, Hanford is in California's 21st Congressional District and is represented by Democrat T.J. Cox. Education. Hanford has 15 elementary schools, 3 junior high schools, 4 high schools with a total of 8,464 kindergarten through 8th grade students and 3,522 high schoolers. The United States Census of 2000 reported that 74.5% of Hanford residents aged 25 and over were high school graduates and 14.4% had bachelor's degrees or higher. The Hanford Elementary School District provides kindergarten through 8th grade education for most of the city. It operates the following elementary and junior high schools. The Pioneer Union Elementary School District serves much of the northern part of Hanford and operates Pioneer Elementary, Frontier Elementary and Pioneer Middle Schools. Part of North Hanford is served by the Kings River Hardwick School District. A small area in southwest Hanford is served by the Armona Union Elementary School District, which operates Armona Elementary and Parkview Middle Schools in the nearby community of Armona. The Hanford Joint Union High School District provides public secondary education. It operates Hanford Union High School, Hanford West High School, Sierra Pacific High School as well as Earl F. Johnson High School, which is a continuation high school. The district also operates the Hanford Adult School. A new state-of-the-art comprehensive full-service high school, called Sierra Pacific High School, opened on August 13, 2009 with the first class graduating in 2013. Sierra Pacific is part of the Hanford Joint Educational Center, which is a joint-use project of the Hanford Joint Union High School District, the College of the Sequoias and the City of Hanford. The Hanford Joint Educational Center is on 13th Avenue 1/4 of a mile north of Lacey Boulevard. The College of the Sequoias, COS, community college based in Visalia, California, operates an education center in Hanford as part of the Joint Educational Center that includes Sierra Pacific High School. Brandman University, part of the Chapman University system, has a Hanford campus for adult students. Private elementary schools in Hanford include Hanford Christian School and St. Rose McCarthy School. Culture. The Clark Center for Japanese Art and Culture. The former Clark Center had the mission of collecting, preserving, and exhibiting works of fine art, primarily the arts of Japan. The center also housed a specialist library for Japanese art and culture. The Clark Center closed permanently on June 30, 2015. The art collection was moved to the Minneapolis Institute of Arts and the bonsai collection was transferred to the Shinzen Friendship Garden at Woodward Park in Fresno, California. Hanford Carnegie Museum. The Hanford Carnegie Museum was built in 1905 as one of the many Carnegie libraries that were funded by the steel industry magnate, Andrew Carnegie. The library was replaced by a new structure at a different location in 1968. The old library was later renovated and reopened as the Hanford Carnegie Museum in 1975. The building is of Romanesque architecture with displays of furniture and photos describing the history of the Hanford area. King's District Fair. The King's District Fair is a traditional county fair held on 4 days in mid-June at the King's Fairgrounds. Renaissance of King's Cultural Arts Fair. The Renaissance of King's Cultural Arts Fair is held the first weekend of October at Courthouse Square in Hanford's city centre. The fair recreates the period during the reign of King Henry VIII of England. There is no admission charge and the event typically attracts 15,000 people over the 2-day period. The event was cancelled in 2012 but returned in 2013. King's Art Center. The King's Art Center was opened in 1989 to be the premier visual arts gallery and art training center of Kings County. Gallery shows are changed approximately every 4 weeks. Typical shows include photography, pottery, watercolor, mixed media, prints, textiles, and fibers. Art classes for adults and children are scheduled throughout the year. King's Symphony Orchestra. The King's Symphony Orchestra was founded in 1963 and draws musicians from throughout the central and southern San Joaquin Valley. The orchestra generally performs 4 times a year with a variety of classical and pops repertoire. Hanford in Literature. William Saroyan's short story, The Journey to Hanford that appeared in My Name is Aram is a comic account of 2 characters from Fresno, a boy and his wastrel uncle who share a single bicycle as they travel the approximately 30-mile route between Fresno and Hanford, taking along a sack of rice to feed them through what turns out to be a largely pointless summer. Hanford's Chinese community. Chinese immigrants arrived in the late 19th century to build railroads and work on farms. They created a thriving Chinatown in Hanford in the neighborhood around China Alley. China Alley was the site of the famous but now closed Imperial Dynasty restaurant. Hanford's Taoist Temple, listed on the National Register of Historic Places, built in 1893 is also there. A Moon Festival is held in China Alley in early October. In July 2011, Hanford City Council commissioned a study of China Alley with the hope of revitalizing it. The China Alley Preservation Society is a non-profit organization dedicated to preserving and revitalizing China Alley. Hanford's African American community. While the black community has long played an important role in the city of Hanford only began to celebrate Martin Luther King, Jr. Day on January 15, 2007 after a long battle led by the local branch of the NAACP. The City Council then recognized the day as an official holiday with a resolution honoring Dr. King, read by then-Mayor Joaquin Gonzalez. The most prominent African Americans living in the community include Sister City. Hanford is a sister city with Satana, a small town on Hokkaido, Japan. The program is known for promoting international friendship. Both cities send a delegate group of both prominent city citizens and high school students. For the city of Hanford, high school students are selected from both high schools through an application and interview process for delegate spots. The Satana High School provides a student delegate position for their entire upper class. Hanford delegates travel to Satana, Japan in the summer. Satana delegates travel to Hanford in the winter. Sites of interest. Sports. Hanford is the site of the Hanford Criterium bicycle races held on a Sunday in late March or early April. The 0.9-mile, 1.4 kilometers, hourglass-style loop course is run on downtown streets. The Criterium is held under USA cycling racing rules and permit. Dirt track auto racing takes place at the Kings Speedway from March through October. The track is a 3/8-mile semi-banked clay oval and is at the King's Fair grounds. Notable people: